in the heart of Africa, under a sun that has seen centuries of betrayal and resistance. A storm is rising. He is young. He is bold. And he refuses to bow. Ibrahim Traoré did not come to make speeches. He came to end an era where African blood was spilled for foreign profit, where leaders wore crowns handed to them by those who once held whips. He came to bury the old order. And now they want to bury him. But ask yourself, why would the most powerful forces on earth fear a man from one of the poorest nations in the world? Why would they unleash spies, threats, and propaganda on someone who simply speaks for his people? Because truth is louder than guns. And Traoré's truth has shaken the walls of embassies and boardrooms. They cannot control him. So now, they want to silence him. But Burkina Faso is watching. Africa is watching. And the world is beginning to understand. This is not just about one man. This is about the soul of a continent. So again we ask, who wants to kill Ibrahim Traoré? And more importantly, what will they unleash if they ever try? They whisper in corridors, in foreign languages, in secret rooms filled with smoke and maps. They don't wear uniforms, but their power is more dangerous than guns. They are bankers, spies, generals, diplomats. And they are afraid. Afraid of a 36-year-old man with fire in his voice and Africa in his veins. They fear Ibrahim Traoré. Because Traoré didn't ask for permission. He didn't beg the West for validation. He didn't wait to be accepted into their puppet club. He took power with conviction, and he started something that can't be reversed. In Burkina Faso, he did what others only dared to dream. He said no. No to military bases that watch but never protect. No to aid that bleeds nations dry. No to backdoor deals wrapped in diplomatic smiles. And now he is marked. Not with a target on his back, but with influence. His speeches don't echo, they explode. His decisions don't ripple, they shake capitals from Paris to Washington. And they ask themselves, who taught this young African president to think for himself? Who gave him the courage to break the chains? They can't believe it, because for decades, they controlled the game. They wrote the rules. And every African leader was just a piece on their board. But Traoré flipped the board entirely. Now, the whispers have grown louder. Intelligence reports circulate. Private warnings are sent. He should be careful, they say. There are forces he doesn't understand. They leak rumors to local press. They spread stories to undermine him. Some say there's already a price on his head. Others deny it, but their eyes say everything. Even inside the continent, not all are allies. Some African leaders, older, compromised, afraid of losing their seats, see Traoré as a threat, not just to France or the West, but to them. Because his fire exposes their weakness. His purity exposes their corruption. But Traoré doesn't blink. He walks with purpose. Every step a message. Every word a challenge. And the youth? They follow. From Ouagadougou to Bamako. From Niamey to Kinshasa. Even in Lagos, Dakar, Accra. They chant his name, not for what he has, but for what he represents. Defiance. Rebirth. And that is what truly terrifies his enemies. Because how do you kill an idea? How do you silence a spirit that has awakened millions? Even if they tried, would it even work? That question haunts them now. Because if something were to happen to Ibrahim Traoré, the fires of revolution wouldn't die. They would explode. And the world is watching. But the story, this war behind the curtains, this global game of silence, secrets, and sabotage, it's just beginning. There is a calm before betrayal. A silence so perfect, it almost convinces you the danger has passed. But for Ibrahim Traoré, the silence isn't peace. It's a signal. Because the trap doesn't come with bullets. Not yet. It comes wrapped in diplomacy. In smiles that stretch too wide. In handshakes that last too long. The men planning his downfall aren't always foreign. They wear suits. They sip tea beside him. Some even call him brother. But their hearts belong to something else. Power without principle. You see, when Traoré began cleaning the system, he didn't just scare France or the West. He terrified the African elite who had built their empires on selling their people. presidents, businessmen, generals, even clergy. To them, Traore is not just a rebel. He's a mirror. And mirrors are dangerous when your reflection is soaked in blood. So now the trap is being set, quietly, professionally. The strategy has changed. No longer is the plan to strike from the outside. That would make him a martyr. They saw what happened when Sankara fell. Africa didn't forget. They saw what happened when Gaddafi was dragged through the dirt. It backfired. This time they want to destroy Traore from within. The plan is more surgical now. Step 1. Isolate him. Paint him as a radical. Create the illusion that his neighbors reject him. Circulate false reports of discontent inside his own military. Feed whispers into foreign media that he's become paranoid, divisive, unstable. They will leak fake intelligence. They will twist his speeches. They will interview anonymous sources with fabricated doubts. And slowly, subtly, they hope to turn the people against him. But there's a problem. It's not working. Because Ibrahim Traoré has something rare. Authenticity. He doesn't read from a teleprompter. He doesn't wear $10,000 watches. He doesn't hide behind guards when speaking to the people. He lives the struggle. He walks the dust of the displaced. He eats what the soldiers eat. And the youth see that. So now the plan evolves again. Step 2. Destabilize his country. Fund militia groups under the radar. Let violence rise, then blame it on his leadership. Send weapons across borders and pretend they were stolen. Hijack social media with trolls and bots to spread panic. And if Traoré cracks down too hard, call him a dictator. If he doesn't act fast enough, say he's weak. It's a strategy used before, in Libya, in Mali, in Congo. And it almost worked. Almost. But Traoré reads history. He studies their patterns. And he speaks often of a lesson they thought he'd forgotten. Never trust those who helped colonize your ancestors to now liberate your children. So the final trap begins. Step 3. Infiltrate. They won't come with flags or armies. They'll come as friends. Human rights activists. Advisors. Security experts. They'll offer help. They'll embed operatives. And they'll wait for the moment when someone close to Traoré, a general, a bodyguard, a minister, flinches. Because it only takes one. One weak man. One Judas. One poison signature. And just like that, the headlines will change overnight. Burkina Faso in turmoil after internal conflict. Traoré deposed in sudden shakeup. New transitional council promises stability. But the world will know. Africa will know. The people will know. Because this time, the script is old. Too old. And the youth are not blind anymore. They have smartphones. They have voices. They don't believe CNN and BBC headlines without question. They ask, who benefits if Traoré falls? And that question echoes like thunder. In Europe, where they count profits from African gold. In America, where they plan drone bases under partnerships. In elite hotels where African leaders toast with foreign sponsors. That question haunts them. Because they know the truth. If Traoré survives, he will inspire millions. And if he falls, he will become unstoppable. A ghost with fire. A martyr with a movement. So now the trap is tighter than ever. But Traoré is not walking blindly. He speaks less, listens more. He watches even those closest to him. He knows the time may come when loyalty will mean life or death. But still, he walks forward. Because he knows one thing. The bullet that kills him may be fired, but the idea he planted cannot be buried. So now the world holds its breath. A continent rises. A man stands tall. And a question remains. Not of if they will try to silence him, but of what will happen if they fail. Because Ibrahim Traoré is more than a president. He is a page in Africa's unfinished story. A chapter written in courage, not compromise. In dust and blood, but also in hope and truth. They may try to trap him, to isolate him, to destroy him. But how do you destroy a man who has already given himself to the people? How do you break someone who has nothing to lose but his chains? Even if they strike, even if they silence his voice, His echo will remain in every corner of Africa. In the barefoot child who now believes they can lead. In the young soldier who refuses to shoot his own. In the elder who says, "We thought we had lost them, but now we see a new sun rising." This is not about power. It is about purpose. And that is something no bullet can kill. So to those watching, listening, doubting, or fearing, remember this. You can kill a man, but you can't kill a movement born in truth. You can bury a body, but you can't bury an idea whose time has come. He is not alone anymore. Africa is awake. And this time, we will not go back to sleep.